GTA Online has over 800 cars, boats, airplanes, and militarized vehicles spread out across a bunch of different websites, but there's one website in particular that caters to the needs of every true GTA Online player. Whether you want to go really fast or you want to be protected while taking on a small army of cops and mercenaries, WARSTOCK Cash and Carry is designed to fulfill all of your vehicular carnage requirements. This place is home to the biggest and baddest vehicles in all of GTA Online, and in today's video, I'm going to take a deep dive into their collection and tell you which WARSTOCK vehicles are truly worth your money. This list is in no particular order, and I'm going to include both weaponized vehicles as well as service vehicles in here to give you guys the widest range of options, no matter if you're trying to make money or just stay protected in a free roam lobby. And now, of course, the very first vehicle on my list is the one that every red-blooded GTA Online player should own without exception, and that's the Duke of Death. This armored muscle car is one of the finest murder mobiles you can purchase in all of GTA Online, and it's only become better in recent years thanks to the addition of Imani Tech upgrades like the missile lock-on jammer. But the best thing about this beautiful hunk of steel and aluminum is that it's free. Yes, you can get it for $0 right now, irrespective of whether you're a new or returning player, so there's no excuse not to own at least one Duke of Death in your garage. It's definitely a game changer for new players and will help you overcome many heists until that time when you finally have the cash to upgrade to something better. Like for instance, the Oppressor Mark II, coming in at an eye-watering $8 million. This is on the opposite end of the price spectrum from the Duke of Death, but it's still a very good vehicle to get early on, so if you grind a few Dr. Dre contracts or Cayo Perico or even the Cluck and Bell farm raid, you can easily afford an Oppressor Mark II even at its unmodified price. But there's a way to bring it down to the trade price of $6 million, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Right now, all you need to know is that the Oppressor Mark II is very agile, it carries lots of firepower, and it will fit into places where no other flying vehicle can go, and all of that, in my opinion, makes it one of the best grinding tools in the entire game, irrespective of its super hefty price tag. The Pyro is another one of my favorites on WARSTOCK Cash and Carry, and this may not be as relevant if you play PvE content as a primary game, but if you ever make the decision to get into a public lobby and fly around in the skies, you'll quickly discover that weaponized airplanes are the easiest way of dealing with griefers and PvP duelists, and when it comes to dogfighting, few planes can match the turn rate or roll rate of the Pyro, which will fly circles around pretty much everything else, including the Raiju and the laser, and it's also no slouch when it comes to top speed, and that's because it's the second fastest vehicle in all of GTA Online, and it's capable of flying at 222 miles an hour, and that means if you can't outfight someone, you're guaranteed to outrun them. Next up, we've got another flying vehicle here, and this one is the stealthy assassin known as the Akula. This one fulfills a very similar role to the FH1 Hunter, which you can also swap this one out for, but the Akula is going to be geared more towards solo players because unless you have a co-pilot with you in the Hunter, you can't really take advantage of its excellent autocannon, but with the Akula, you have access to all the best weapons as a solo pilot, including the dual 50 cal machine guns and homing missiles. In addition to machine guns and homing missiles, the Akula can also fire an unguided rocket barrage similar to the one on the Hunter. These missiles come in salvos of 4 at a time and fly for over 400 meters. They have the splash effect once they detonate. And finally, you have the bombs, which can be explosive, cluster, incendiary, or even gas bombs. For me, the Akula's most impressive feature is of course its stealth function, which takes you off the radar, and this turns it into a pretty good stealth bomber. Plus, it seats up to 4 people, so you can carry the whole squad, something that's basically impossible with fighter jets. The Akula will also tank 3 RPGs, which once again is not really something you see with any fighter jet, as they typically go down in just 1 RPG, and the extra explosive resistance against RPGs and explosive sniper rounds comes in really handy because with an attack helicopter, you'll be flying really low and slow, often hovering in place as you dish out your damage, so the Akula's enhanced durability and survivability here is much appreciated. And now for the infamous Batmobile, aka the Vigilante. This is a weaponized car that you can use in missions, and it comes with some of the best homing missiles in the entire game as well as the best rocket boost in the game. The top speed is 146 miles an hour, which is on par with or faster than some HSW vehicles, and the Vigilante also has bullet resistant windows, so you can take quite a lot of enemy fire before your head actually gets exposed. The PvP potential of this car is not that high, to be honest, as it will go down in just 1 RPG or 1 homing missile, but in PvE, the Vigilante is an absolute menace. You can do the Dr. Dre contract or Cluck and Bell with it. You can even do bail office bounties and contact missions. This vehicle is going to perform a similar role to the weaponized Ignis, which can also be used in missions, and while the Ignis is probably better overall due to its built-in lock-on jammer, that's going to make it more survivable against other players, the Vigilante does have an advantage when it comes to taking down vehicles because of its homing missiles, and those are going to deal way more damage than the Ignis's machine gun turret. Just remember that you're going to need an MOC or even an Avenger if you want to install missiles and performance upgrades on your Vigilante, and so if you don't have either of those, you can also use the weapons expert in your arena workshop if you have that upgrade purchased. The Stromberg is another excellent weaponized car, and overall I think I like it actually a little bit more than the Vigilante Vigilante simply because of how versatile it is, and it also delivers a whole lot of bang for the buck. Think about it. The Stromberg costs $2.5 million compared to the $3.7 million of the Vigilante, and with it comes machine guns and homing missiles installed by default. By the way, these are also tier 1 homing missiles just like the Vigilante, and the machine guns on the Stromberg are the same ones that you get on the Toreador, so they actually deal a lot of damage. You don't need an MOC to upgrade your Stromberg, and it will soak up 6 homing missiles or 2 RPGs before blowing up, and that's going to make it a lot more survivable than the Vigilante as well. The Vigilante's significantly higher top speed does make it better for pure grinding probably, but if you want an all-rounder, it's hard to beat the Stromberg, which by the way, can also be used in mission preps unlike the Toreador. The F-160 Raiju also makes it here onto my list for one simple reason. It does everything. Speed, vertical takeoff and landing, insane offensive power with both explosive autocannons and homing missiles, stealth. This aircraft literally does everything. It's the fastest vehicle in the game, and once you get accustomed to its vertical thrusters, you can pull off some really sick aerial combos that will leave your opponents flabbergasted. Does it maneuver as well as a Starling or Pyro? No, of course not, but it doesn't have to because the Raiju can engage and disengage at will with its insane acceleration and top speed. Plus, it has stealth, so a lot of the time your enemies won't even see you coming, and they're gonna be dead before they know what hit them. And for grinding, the Raiju is just as good as the Sparrow or Oppressor Mark II. Maybe even better if you want to cover huge distances like going across the map from the city to Paleto Bay all the way up north, or even Elysian Island in the south part if you're traveling from Paleto Bay. The Avenger is basically an MOC with wings, and it's even better because this bad boy comes with an insane amount of firepower and armor as well. It's as close as you can get to a flying tank in GTA Online, and in reality, it's even tougher than actual tanks in the game like the Kanjali or the Rhino because this aircraft can magically survive 23 homing missiles and 8 RPGs. Hey, it's GTA logic, it doesn't have to make sense. And if some kid sneaks up on you with an Oppressor or a Hydra, you can always give them a taste of their own medicine with the Avenger's homing missiles. The Avenger's operation terminal can also be used to launch 6 Project Overthrow missions and 3 LSA operations, all of which can make you a decent bit of money. And if you do the On Parade mission, you'll unlock the trade price of $5.1 million for the F-160 Raiju. The Avenger also comes with a workshop which can be used to upgrade and modify weaponized vehicles like the weaponized Tampa, Vigilante, and other cars. And number 9, we have the Terabyte, which is relatively affordable when you compare it to other service vehicles in the game, like the Avenger or even the MOC, as you can buy one of these starting at $1.2 million. However, you need to own either a nightclub or even a garment factory before you can buy the Terabyte, as those are the only 2 locations where this vehicle can be stored. Then, once you have a Terabyte, you can use the terminal inside to start up vehicle cargo or special cargo source missions, as well as client missions, which will pay you out about $30,000 for 3 to 5 minutes of gameplay. Doing 5 client missions will also unlock the trade price for the Oppressor Mark II, bringing its total cost down from $8 million down to $6 million. Plus, you're going to need a Terabyte to install missiles on your Oppressor Mark II, and missiles are the main reason anyone even buys the Oppressor Mark II, so get yourself a Terabyte first. Install the specialized workshop, and then you can start grinding for your Oppressor. Once you have your Oppressor, you can also install the Master Control Terminal in your Terabyte, which turns it into one of the best grinding tools in the entire game, as you can now monitor every business and purchase resupplies for your bunker or MOC just by summoning your Terabyte to you. This Master Control Terminal costs $1.2 million, and you'll need the Darnell Bros Garment Factory and Bureau Tech to install it in your Terabyte. But it's well worth the price, as it's better than the one you get in your arcade, and it's cheaper too. The Kasatka costs $2.2 million, and for the price tag, there is no other vehicle in the game that offers you a better return on your investment as a player, because all you need to do is 2 Cayo Perico heists, and all of a sudden, you've recovered the money that you spent on buying that Kasatka. You can literally make it back in one day, so you really can't go wrong with a Kasatka. And owning one of these submarines also has the side effect of giving you access to the Sparrow, which for $1.8 million is easily one of the best grinding tools in the entire game, aside from that Oppressor Mark II. So yeah, definitely buy yourself a Kasatka ASAP. The earlier you get it, the better. The weaponized Ignis is one of my favorite cars in the entire game, alongside the Vigilante and weaponized Tampa, and it's coincidentally also the fastest HSW car around a racetrack, so if you want a combination of high top speed, really good acceleration, and excellent grip, the weaponized Ignis is going to be really hard to beat here. It also comes with that very powerful minigun turret up on the roof, which deals the same amount of damage as the turret found on the Speedo Custom or even the weaponized Tampa, so you can absolutely shred through lightly armored vehicles. The Ignis also has bullet resistant windows and comes with a missile lock-on jammer installed by default, so that makes it a very underrated PvP car as well. And speaking of PvP, we all know that few vehicles in the game are as good at swatting Oppressor Mark IIs out of the sky as the Toreador. This thing is a killing machine with higher explosive resistance than most other weaponized cars like the Vigilante or even the Ignis, and it comes with a rocket boost feature for that extra mobility. The Toreador is expensive, and unfortunately it also can't be used in missions, but in free roam PvP or even just getting around the map really fast in a public lobby, few other land vehicles can match its ability. abilities. It has excellent homing missiles, excellent machine guns for when your enemies have missile jammers, and its bullet-resistant windows will keep you protected from people who shoot at you with machine guns right before you put a missile in their face. The B-11 Strike Force is the Toreador of the skies with its amazing agility, speed, and overall firepower. This thing is clearly modeled after that A-10 Warthog. Unfortunately though, it doesn't have that iconic bird soundtrack to go along with that explosive autocannon, and it's an even bigger shame in my opinion that the autocannon on this aircraft fires at a slower fire rate than the guns on the Laser or the Hydra, but that's still plenty fast for mowing down enemy aircraft, and it can fire off salvos of homing missiles with zero pause, which combined with this thing's exceptional turn rate make it a nightmare to dogfight. The Phantom Wedge is going to be another must-have in my opinion here, not just for doing the Cayo Perico Longfin prep mission, but also because it's such a fun vehicle to drive. Think ramp buggy but on steroids, because the Phantom Wedge will flip, throw, and judo chop any vehicle in its way, no matter if it's a tiny hatchback or a giant truck. It also comes in handy for that hangar cell mission where you get a trailer, because you can just airlift the trailer to the destination with your Iron Mule or Cargo Bob, and once you land, just call in your personal Phantom Wedge to drop it off in the yellow circle. All things considered here, this is just going to be one of those vehicles that you buy purely for fun rather than work, and I highly recommend it to everyone. Just remember that you need a vehicle warehouse before you buy a Phantom Wedge, as the underground storage in your vehicle warehouse is the only place in the game that can fit one of these giant semi-trucks. And finally, we've got the legendary Sparrow. You do need to invest in a Kasaka first, because the Sparrow is a $1.8 million moon pool upgrade for that submarine, but trust me, it's well worth the cash, and if you don't have an Oppressor Mark II, the Sparrow kind of fulfills the same role but at a much lower price point. In fact, owning a Sparrow makes everything else much easier, as you're moving around the map faster, and you can just hammer enemies from the air with an infinite amount of homing missiles that also have a 0 cooldown and 0 reload. Normally, the Cayo Perico heist preps take over an hour with a car, but it can be done in just 40 minutes with a Sparrow, and the finale is just another 10 minutes on top of that, so you can earn $1 million in just 50 minutes total. And if you're doing hangar source missions, there is truly no better vehicle to have than a Sparrow. You can also use the Sparrow to help you with your bunker or MC whenever you get multiple cell vehicles, as the Sparrow's insanely high top speed of 168 miles an hour make it excellent at covering large distances in a short amount of time. And the best part is, this helicopter spawns right next to you, unlike larger helicopters, so you can just call it in and fly it off immediately. Then when it gets destroyed, the cooldown for the next request is only just 2 minutes. I think the Sparrow is definitely the most versatile vehicle in the game alongside the Oppressor Mark II, so for that reason alone, it's worth owning one. And just in case, as the CEO, if your Sparrow gets destroyed, you always have the backup Buzzard attack chopper as well in your back pocket. And there you have it. Those are going to be my top 15 WARSTOCK cash and carry vehicles that I think everyone must buy in GTA Online. Please let me know in the comments if you'd like to add any of your own favorites to this list and why down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you found it informative. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and you want to see more GTA Online content just like this. And please feel free to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushtv for more GTA Online money grinding live streams. As always, I will catch you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Until then, adios amigos.